Welcome back, everyone. In my last video, I took one of the swords I bought very cheap at an auction and tested rust removal with various chemicals. Here I'll show you how I cleaned up that sword and plated both sides with copper. Plating copper onto steel offers several benefits, including a unique aesthetic, increased corrosion resistance, and better electrical conductivity. I started by wet sanding with the 5% acetic acid solution, although the 10% citric acid solution would have been ideal as well. I used sandpaper ranging from 400 to 3000 grit. There were a few stubborn patches that I wanted to quickly knock out, so I turned to the Dremel. The sword was in decent shape, but had some pitting, which I cleaned out with a steel brush, followed by a brass brush. Since the sanding drum and steel brush were a bit harsh, I did another round of sanding. Then, with the brass brush, I carefully cleaned out a few of the remaining pits. I did a final wet sanding with water to remove any brass residue and to ensure a smooth surface. Now, plating copper onto steel without electricity is straightforward. I applied a 32% copper sulfate solution with a brush directly onto the steel surface. Initially, a beautiful copper layer formed, but it quickly tarnished after the excess solution was cleaned off and the sword dried. The remaining solution must be removed, otherwise it will evaporate and leave copper sulfate crystals. This gave the sword a rustic copper look, which wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it was good enough to clear coat this side, then repeat all the cleaning for the other side. If you're aiming for this rustic copper look in your project, all you need is copper sulfate. However, if you want to mitigate the tarnish and get a brighter, cleaner copper layer, then an acid solution is one way to achieve that. From my previous video, I had a 50% citric acid solution ready, which I applied a few drops of before brushing on the copper sulfate. There are a few reasons why adding the acid solution mitigates the tarnishing. If you know one, enlighten us in the comments. The result was a favorable one, so I quickly removed the excess solution and proceeded to clear coat this side. Overall, I'm very happy with the result of this project, and I still have 3 swords left to clean. If you have any advice on the electroless plating process, cleaning the swords, or have an idea you want me to try, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys and gals. Arisalder, out.